Shalom, family. This word is coming from Habakkuk, chapter 2, verses 12 through 13. Thus says the word of Yahuah, woe to him that builds a town with blood and establishes a city by iniquity. Behold, it is not of Yahuah Tseva'oth, if I'm pronouncing that right, that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for very vanity. Okay, so the word fire means heat, the word weary means faint, and very to no purpose, and vanity means in vain and also to no purpose. So the slaves here in the United States of America and the rest of the diaspora, their descendants of the slaves is who we are, who were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So all of the other places that the slaves went, okay, but we're specifically talking about America, the slaves here in America. This is what ended up happening to the slaves here in America. Okay, out in the heat, picking cotton. Okay, becoming so weary because it's so hot, they're fainting. Okay, and for no purpose at all. What was the purpose? It was in vain. So in these cities, these states here in the United States of America for 400 years was built by the blood, and by iniquity is how the United States of America was built. So their descendants, the slaves' descendants, are due 400 years of reparations for the free labor of having to be out in the fiery heat, fainting to no purpose, in vain. Okay? We're due in the trillions of dollars. So that means about 17 to 20 million dollars a piece is how much 400 years of free labor for all the atrocities. It wasn't just us building, it was the beatings and the raping and the unaliving and the whipping and the name calling and the keeping from being able to educate ourselves and read and go to school, and just all of the heinous, evil, wicked things that were done to our ancestors for over 400 years. And as of today, 2025, the things that the so-called black people who are the descendants of the slaves are still having to go through here in the United States of America and also throughout the entire earth. But just for the blacks here, the descendants of the slaves here in America, we are due 17 to 20 million dollars a piece, all 47 or 48 million of us. Okay? Every single last one of us. Not no 1 million, not no 500,000, not no 2 million. We're talking about 17 to 20 million dollars a piece. We are due as reparations as a people for 400 years of free slavery, of free labor, okay? Without compensation that our ancestors did not get. 200 lakes here in the United States of America have black towns underneath them. Okay, you have the where's that area? What city is that? I can't think of it. Where the is that in? I can't think of where it's at. Where you have the Punch Bowl. Okay, where the slaves were free, but then they were kept prisoner down in some deep valley area where they ended up dying, and now there's like a bunch of it's like a whole peach orchard, and I think it's like a 40-foot deep or something, kind of like cavern type area that they kept the free slaves in to keep them from leaving, and they died and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to go through the whole list. We all know what happened to us, and we are due. And if they don't, pay us this $17 to $20 million a piece that is due us as descendants of the slaves here in America, they're going to suffer. The Most High Yahuah's hand is against the United States of America and the descendants of the slave owners here in the United States of America. Plain and simple. Ain't nothing they can do about it. So Pharaoh don't want to let us go. The Pharaoh has to pay us. He has to give us what's due us money-wise, or else they will experience the wrath and the plagues, the 10 plagues of the Most High Yahuah. Just plain and simple. Plain and simple. And then actually, as you can see, they are helping the Most High to do what he said is going to be done to them, just by the dude that's in office right now and the things that he is doing, and his little sidekick. Yeah. So anyway, my light on my phone just went out because my battery is running low on my phone. But Habakkuk chapter 2 verses 12 through 13. Thank you, Abba Yah, for your holy word. May your word not return back to you void. We thank you for vengeance against our enemies, and of all the atrocities that have been done to us and the evil, wicked things that they continue to do against us as pertains to racism and discrimination, and whatever else that has been going on still to this day against so-called black people, so-called African American people, so-called descendants of the indigenous Native American copper-colored people who were already here before the so-called white man got here. We thank you for vengeance and recompense. And to you, Abba Yah, be all the glory and honor and praise for our deliverance, for compensation that belongs to your people who are the descendants of the slaves that are still here in what's called the United States of America. Shalom, family.